guys, welcome back to another episode of BAMGPG. I'll be your host, Bison.
And I'll be your co-host, Ben.
And today we're going to do a full-on mock draft with the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
With no trades. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe and go check out our TikTok, BAMGPG.
Yeah, so we're going to go through the Detroit Lions. We're going to do a 4-round mock draft with them. So we'll take a look at their positions of need while also, looking at the best available. So the Detroit Lions, they finished 2024 on a great season. Now, they lost both of their coordinators on defense and on offense, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. So we'll see how they play in 2025. As I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of Dan Campbell. I don't think he's that great of a head coach. I think he's a good motivator, great X's and O guy. I don't think so. Make some risky decisions. He's not going to have his masterminds there anymore. So we'll see how that works out for the Lions this season. It'll be interesting. I hope for the worst for him, but we'll see. So let me go ahead and share out the draft here, Bryson, real quick. So the Detroit Lions. So we have pick number 28 in the first round here. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. And I will let you take the first pick. I'm going to just go through the first round, do a quick recap. So Tennessee needs a quarterback. They have that new stadium coming. Mayonnaise boy isn't working out for him, as we've mentioned before. So Cam Ward's coming to Tennessee. And then Abdul Carter, the top defensive end in this year's draft class, went to the Cleveland Browns. Travis Hunter, probably, pound for pound, the best overall player in this draft class. Will he play both positions? We'll kind of wait and see, but he went to the New York Giants. Mason Graham, probably towards the top of the boards for a defensive lineman, went to the Oakland Raiders. And then Ashton Jeanty, this is an interesting one, went to the Jets. So, as we know, the Jets have a fantastic running back as it is, but that would certainly give them a great 1-2 punch. Jahdae Barron, cornerback from Texas, went to the Panthers. And the top wide receiver in the draft went to Chicago to give Caleb Williams some help. McMillan. Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, went to Miami. And edge rusher Mike Green. So I have him as number 2 edge rusher on the board here. Mykel Williams went in front of him, but I have him as the number 2 here from Marshall. He dropped to pick 17 to the Bengals. So that would make a ton of sense, especially if the Bengals do move on from Trey Hendrickson this offseason. So that would make some sense there. And then kind of scroll down to Green Bay. Igbuka, wide receiver from Ohio State. So he's, prototypically he's more of a slot wide receiver as opposed to somebody you're going to line up wide. I would like to see us address, kind of that true wide out early in the draft here, especially with Christian Watson being injured. For the majority of the bulk of the season, right? At least through the first 12 weeks. So I would like to see us address that. But that will bring us to the 28th pick here, Bryson, for the Detroit Lions. And you are on the clock. So our positions of need are center, guard, edge rusher, and a linebacker.
So good. Edge rusher.
So we'll go to edge rusher, see what we have on the board. So you got Nick Scorton.
So got him.
Texas A&M. So he graded out an 80.1. Had 4 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, 28 quarterback hurries on the season. His pass rush grade was pretty good, above average at 80.6. Run defensive grade is 74.4. And size-wise, he's 6'4", 285. So pretty good size for a defensive end edge rusher. He's got pretty solid run defense, and, his pass rush grade's fantastic as well. So 80.1 is where he graded out on the year.
Let's take a look at linebacker.
All right, so let's clear that out, and we will take a look at our linebackers. So Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker from South Carolina,
Let's
is on the board
take a look at
here.
him.
So he graded out an 82.8. He had 64 tackles on the year. Pass rush grade was a 78.5. Run defensive grade's fantastic, 85.4 on the season. Size-wise at linebacker, he's 6'2", 245. So, pretty good size linebacker.
Take him.
You want to take Demetrius Knight Jr. with the first round. So we addressed the linebacker position in the first round for the Lions at pick 28. So that puts us back on the clock at pick number 60. So we've addressed the linebacker. Let's see what we have here. Certainly don't need a running back in this offense, that's for sure. Let's look at Jared Ivey. So he graded out at 90.6 this season. He had 8 sacks, 31 hurries on the quarterback, 3 batted passes, 1 quarterback hit. His pass rushing grade was absolutely fantastic at 90.8 on the season. Run defense was also pretty good, above average at 82.7. And he's 6'6", 285. He's a big body defensive end from Ole Miss. I like him a lot. It's a position of need for us. I'm going to go ahead and take Jared Ivey here in the second round. So, Bryson, that'll bring it back to the clock to you. So we've addressed linebacker and our edge rusher.
Hey, let's look at the center right here.
Center, Jared Wilson from Georgia. So he graded out at 79.6. Didn't allow any sacks on the season, 1 hit on his quarterback and 5 hurries. His run blocking grade was, slightly above average at 76. Now his pass blocking grade, pretty good, above average, 84.9. And he's 6'3", 310 pounds. Pretty typical for a center at that size. So fantastic season. Pass blocking is absolutely fantastic. And again, he's above average on his run blocking grade as well.
Let's take him.
So we're going to take him. Jared Wilson. So we've addressed our center position here. So brings us to pick 129. So I might look at a couple different ones here. So I want to look at J.J. Pegas here. So he graded out 74.6. 4 sacks on the year, 24 quarterback hurries. Pass rush grade is 65.6. And his run defense, 81.8. That's pretty good. 6'2", 325. So he'd be a big body in the middle there. I want to take a look here. Let me go down. Let's take a look at another edge rusher here. Pass rush grade 85.2, run defense 63.2, total grade of 78.6, 14 sacks on the season, 9 hits, 25 hurries, 0 batted passes. This guy's a true pass rusher, 85.2 on the season, 6'3", 252. So good, decent size for an edge rusher. I'm going to go ahead and draft Antoine Powell Ryland here.
Okay.
With our final pick, taking another edge rusher. So that'll wrap up our draft here, Bryson. So they gave you a C on your linebacker and Demetrius Knight Jr. We got an A- on Jared Ivey, an A- on Jared Wilson, center from Georgia, a B+ on our edge rusher, Antoine Ryland from Virginia Tech, for an overall grade of a B. So let us know what you think, Lions fans. If you came out of the draft, at least through the first 4 rounds with these players, would you be satisfied with it? Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know who you would have taken in those rounds. And we'll be back with some more as we work our way through the 32 NFL teams in these 4-round mock drafts. And as always, Bryson,
it's called Pat Go.